And our fourth guest of the day, fittingly, wears number 4 on the football field. He is the quarterback, Taysom Hill. Taysom, welcome back to Studio B.
Thanks for having me. It's good to be here.
Okay, you proved to me a few weeks ago that you're competitive in just about everything. And we were shooting a commercial for a laser tag, but at one point you're like, I should bring some of the guys back here and we should do this.
Yeah, I mean, laser tag in that setting would be awesome. But we actually did one better. So we went paintballing yesterday as a team. And that was really fun. And the consequence for losing in that was much worse than laser tag, you know, being hit by one of those paintballs.
You get hit by a paintball.
Yeah, naturally.
I thought you lined them up after or something.
No, but I mean, there's guys leaving the field with blood, you know, that after being hit. All in.
Who's the most competitive paintballer on the team?
Man, I don't know. Taryn Howe, he was out there in like an army like jacket that he strapped on with no shirt underneath. Like,
what is he doing?
And at one point he found a piece of wood somewhere, I don't know, and he had it like as a shield. So he just like continued to walk up, but had something to protect him from the paintball. So
that's awesome.
I'm gonna have to say Taryn just because of those reasons.
Okay. What kind of emotions are you feeling as you approach Media Day for now what is going to be your senior season?
Yeah. It's kind of a bittersweet experience, right, as I look back on the years that I've been here at BYU, and I've got a lot of fond memories, you know, of my experience here, and not looking forward to it being over, but I'm looking forward to a senior season and being able to go out on top.
What experience or thing that's happened to you have you taken as maybe the most useful as you prepare for your senior season?
Oh, I think the combination of, you know, blowing the knee out my freshman year and then the ankle injury last year. And I think the biggest lesson that will help me my senior season is, you know, I've realized that you can't replicate these experiences anywhere else in any other environment, right? Playing in front of hundreds of thousands of people, you know, under the lights on ESPN, ABC, like you name it, like you're not going to have that opportunity ever again. And so I think just living the moment as it comes and making the most of it. And I think that translates to right now for me, to knowing to make the most of it come September. Like, I need to make the most of it right now. And it's really helped me recover from the injury because rehab can become pretty monotonous at times.
Okay, quick question. Are you 100%?
Yes.
Okay, there you go.
Yes.
Taysom Hill is 100% as stated on the state of the program as well as on BYU Sports Nation. Getting healthy is obviously the number one concern when you go through a significant injury. But what have you, I mean, could you do anything to try and get better as a quarterback dealing with coming back from an injury?
Yeah, there's always things that you can do to become better, right? And I think one of the things that not only we've done, but the coaching staff, Coach Wintrick, has done to create those opportunities for me is they went and visited Tom House, right, the quarterback guru in San Diego, took a bunch of videos, right, went and spent a couple of days with them, and then they brought all of that back. And so not only was I able to do those, or am I able to do those right now, but I was able to do them as I was rehabbing, right? When I wasn't able to run, when I wasn't able to do those things, I could always do different shoulder workouts to help me become a better thrower.
Do you feel like 2015 you'll pick up where you left off in 2014 in terms of passing the ball?
Yeah, I mean, so this is kind of the standard my mentality as I go into my senior season, right? We were pretty good offensively last year, and you know I expect us to do the same thing, but be a little better, right? Like we only graduated a few seniors last year, and we should raise the bar, right? We and you guys and myself, like we should all expect a little bit more of what we did last year.
So what are your expectations for 2015, that said?
Yeah, so it's really hard right now to not be overly optimistic, right? If you guys were going to ask me, what game are you going to lose in 2015? I'm not going to give you one game.
Why would
right?
we ask you that?
Yeah, no, it's like, but if you ask, like, what's your record going to be? I'm not going to tell you we're going to lose a football game,
9-4.
Nor should you. Nor should you. Yeah, exactly.
That's our job.
Yeah, that's your guys' job. So, look, I would say realistic, like, expectations for me and for us as a team is to put ourselves in situations to win every football game, right? And like we're playing in some great venues, some very difficult road games, and if we have the opportunity to win every football game, we're going to have a successful season. And I don't know what that's going to translate to as a record, but we will be successful.
And that's kind of the message with us is the key to the season is your health. I think that there's not a single game on that schedule where you say there's no chance BYU has to win if you're in the game and Jamal's healthy and Mitch is healthy and whatnot. So how do you stay healthy this season? Do you have to you get this all the time, but do you have to change anything about your game?
First of all, that's a lot of pressure you're putting on me here.
It is.
Yeah. So that's kind of been the question I've been asked ever since my freshman year. And I didn't really have the right answer. To be honest, I kind of just gave the answer that everybody wanted to hear, right? Like, well, yeah, I'm going to slide. I'm going to do these things. And the fact of the matter was, yeah, sometimes I slid and sometimes I didn't. And I was conscious of it. But it's a lot easier to sit and talk about it right here than when you're in a stadium to actually do it.
Split-second decision.
Yeah, it's super hard when you're doing everything you can to win a football game, and when you see a guy laying it all on the line next to you, like, how can you not do that? So this is kind of what I've, through my experience at BYU through the 4 years, this is kind of what I've concluded, is I'm going to do whatever it takes to win a football game. And I think where the change is going to take place this year is in the play calling. So we're not going to have as many designed QB runs for me. I'll still run the football, but it will be in broken plays. It'll be me just making something out of nothing, right? And not as many, up the A gap.
Called running plays.
Yeah. I think that's where the change is going to take place. And I think it'll be a little bit easier to monitor and manage that way.
Go ahead, Jeremy.
It's a delicate balance because I thought at the end of the Houston game, you said, listen, I'm going to win this game by just putting my shoulders down to the ground and getting first downs at the end and then winning. That was a situation where you don't come out hurt. No one criticizes the going down. Yet Utah State is a freak play. It happens to be the same dude, Brian Sweet, who will forever live in infamy. So it's tough. It's tough. I guess, how do you respond to people on, are you injury prone? Do you need to, because it seems like fans trust your judgment for the most part in terms of when to go and when not to.
It's a hard thing, right? And then I get two different ends of the spectrum. I have guys that are like, why are you running? Like, blah, blah, blah. And then I get asked this question and they're like, dude, I want you to run. Like, I love watching you run. So I think we need to be smart about it. I certainly need to be smart about it. And if I am running, hopefully it's because I see a huge opening. I see a huge window. And it'll allow me to get 10, 15 yards and then slide, right, and get down. If I see the goal line, like, I'm not going down, right? Like, I'm going to do everything I can to score. So I don't know what the right answer, I don't know what that's going to look like, but it's a work in progress.
Robert and I said that he is very comfortable basically opening up the entire playbook to you from his offensive coordinator position. Does that mean that there are going to be more passes? And do you want to pass more?
Yeah. So I've also been asked this a lot, right? I'm a quarterback first, right? Like, I would much rather throw a touchdown than I would run one any day.
I don't think a lot of people believe you when you say that, honestly.
I know. But look, here's the reality, right? When you're down on the 1-2 yard line, it's much easier to score when you can add an additional blocker, right? When you can take a running back where typically they're handing the ball off to, and you say, hey, you're going to be the lead blocker. And then you have a guy that can run the way that I can. It's much easier to score that way. So a lot of those calls are designed quarterback calls, and they work, And so, yeah, it is. It's hard to believe me when I say those things, right? But
I believe you, Taysom.
Yeah, I appreciate that. But look, I think we will throw the ball more this year. We're still going to run the ball because we're really good at it. And as we run the ball, it'll create opportunities for us to throw the ball more.
Who's the most underrated offensive player?
Oh, man.
Or players.
Yeah. I think the guys on the O-line. right? I think Mitch gets a lot of hype, and rightfully so. I think he's probably one of the best guys that I've ever played with.
Some call him elite.
He is elite. I agree 100%. But look, I think like Riker Matthews, right? Like maybe you guys talk about him, maybe you don't. I don't know. But that dude should be talked about, right? Tuni Kanuch, like that dude should be talked about.
So strong.
So I think it's guys like that, like Louis. That he's going to be really good.
People are talking
here. So I think those guys. I think the receivers get talked about enough. I certainly get talked about more than I should probably. But I think it goes to the O-line.
With all the hype that comes, and we're a big part of the hype machine. That's what we do.
That's your job.
Do you like it? Do you embrace it, or do you try and ignore it?
Yeah. So I kind of have like a golden rule, if you will, of trying to avoid all media, like reading what's written about me and what people say about me. And that came from having conversations with guys like Riley Nilsson, guys like John Beck, Max Hall, right, who have been in my shoes before. And that was one of the things that they gave me, and I've tried hard to live by it.
Taysom Hill is an elite laser tag player.
That's what we hear from the commercials. Last question. Do you feel less pressure this year because undefeated is not necessarily the conversation piece with the schedule?
Man, I think probably more pressure, not in the sense of wins, but like, hey, Taysom, it's your senior season, and look at all these other quarterbacks that were seniors and what they did their senior season.
Don't mess it up, man.
Yeah. So not in the sense of like winning games, but look, and no one has higher expectations for myself than I do, so it's easy to manage.
And you have a wife to go home to at night.
Life is good.
Yeah,
life is
all
good.
Taysom Hill, great stuff, man. Good to talk to you.
It's good to be on here.